pleasantly surprised by this product. Hello and welcome back to Makeup Bag Monday, episode 4. A weekly series where I rotate new and existing products from my makeup collection, test it out for an entire week, and let you know how they perform in my everyday life. From busy mom, sweaty mom, to just loving beauty products, but I also want them to perform. If you enjoy this channel, if you enjoy this type of content, beauty, ASMR, facial Fridays, facial routines, make sure you subscribe and share this video with friends and family members that you think might enjoy this video or the series as well. Let's get into it. Last week, it was very disappointing the previous week about Rose Inc. If you watched last week's video, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't watched that video, make sure you check it out in the cards or in the description box. There's a playlist so you can catch up the Makeup Bag Monday revamp, because this is an old series that I started back in 2017. If you want to watch the vintage version, there's also a playlist on my channel for that. The first product I have that I tested was the Australian Gold Botanical 50 Tinted Face. This is a BB cream for fair to light skin. My only gripe about this was that when I saw it on the shelf at Ulta, it was like light and then fair to light and nothing. I'm curious to see how easy it is to get something a little bit deeper, like medium to tan, tan to deep, because it is quite light. However, as a physical SPF that has a nice tint, it is a great tinted SPF. Not something that's going to give you a lot of coverage. It kind of just blurs and gives your skin this nice glowy kind of hydrated look. If you are very fair or lighter than me, I think this would work well for you. This, I still needed a little help to look alive. I just ended up looking like I had a foundation 2 shades too light for me. Kind of the theme of this video. I like it. Although my viewer and friend from Australia says that she does not understand why it's called Australian Gold, because Australian Gold does not meet the standards of Australia's SPF. It can't be found in Australia, and supposedly it's not Australian. Kind of wonky, right? I do like it. I don't have any gripes about it other than the shade range. I like that it's a mineral SPF. I like that it's an SPF 50. I like that it has a tint to it. Probably something I'm going to save for like early morning workouts or hikes in the winter time because it's a little too light for me. Next face product is the Tula Filter Prime Blurring and Moisturizing Primer. I was really impressed with this. I actually really enjoyed using this more as a everyday face product for that no makeup, just looks a little bit better application. I have the shade Sunrise. This does come in a variety of shades to complement your skin tone. It has little pigment encapsulations that will burst as you massage it into your hands, and then it's going to kind of match your skin tone. It just makes my skin look more even, more hydrated, more glowy, but not glittery or illuminated, just healthy, no makeup skin. And I would use this alone. I used it with all of the products I tested out this week. I used it with just a little bit of powder and concealer, and it works beautifully. I see myself reaching for this just to wear it alone and feel a little bit more confident in my skin. It's supposed to have some really great probiotic, nourishing ingredients for your skincare. I haven't used it long enough for me to notice whether or not that's benefiting my skin or not. I do like it, and I'm going to continue to use it, and I do appreciate that there's not a strong fragrance to this. Other face product I tested out is the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. This is supposed to be 24-hour wear. It's supposed to give you really good medium coverage but feel like nothing on the skin. I agree that it gives you really good light medium coverage. For me, it's a solid medium coverage, but as you guys know, if you're familiar with me, I prefer less is more. I don't like full coverage foundations on my skin. I don't even really like medium coverage for every day. So for me, this is legit medium coverage. And for those of you guys who like more coverage, this would probably be considered light medium. For you, more on the lighter side. I thought it was a really lovely product. It feels really comfortable on the skin. There's no weird scent, no weird fragrances. It wears well on the skin. I wouldn't say it's super hydrating because I did notice it would cling to a couple areas on my face that has a little bit of dryness, and I have relatively normal skin. If anything, I'm more oily on the T-zone. If you have any dryness texture specifically, this will cling to it, but like most makeup products, products, you will need to properly exfoliate and get rid of the flakiness before applying your makeup. And maybe I was layering too many products, but I didn't have any issues with this. I think it's a very beautiful product. It does what it says, and it actually reminds me a lot of the more expensive Giorgio Armani Neo Nude True to Skin Natural Glow Foundation. It reminds me a lot of this. This one I would say is a little bit more hydrating and radiant. This one is more like just skin. While both are very natural, medium buildable coverage and very comfortable on the skin, I would say that if you're on the oilier side, you might enjoy the Urban Decay one more. And if you are on the drier side, the Neo Nude is probably the one you would prefer. It's a great option, a little bit more affordable than the Giorgio Armani. I can see why people really like it. This is way too light for me for my current skin tone. I'm at the end of summer here and I get dark really easily. So it does not match my neck or my shoulders whatsoever. I had to bronze myself up quite a bit to not look ridiculous. The shade I'm wearing is 30 Light, which would be a perfect match once my tan fades. But 30 Light is a little too light for me. I probably need more of a medium. Pleasantly surprised by this product. This is the Kosas Cloud Set in Feathery. It's a beautiful powder. I mentioned it in last week's video where this powder is the perfect powder for all skin types, specifically those who hate powder. If you have dry skin, this powder will work for you. If you don't like powder, you will like this powder. I use it to set everything. I use it to set my SPF even when I'm not wearing any makeup so that the SPF doesn't run into my eyes. My eyes have gotten so incredibly sensitive since pregnancy. I mean, I can't wake up in the middle of the night and see. It is so dry and irritated. I've always had some dryness since I had LASIK. Oh my God, 10 years ago. That dryness has been aggravated since pregnancy and I really need to get my eyes checked. I think just being on screen, like staring at screens all the time and just life, my eyes just get so irritated. So this really helps with any sunblock kind of running into my eyes. Really love this powder. It sets your makeup, but it sets your sunblock and it also just makes you look better, like blurs everything, but never a powdery finish. Feathery is my shade. It's a favorite, so I like rotating in things I enjoy because then I have something to look forward to if I don't like everything. Next thing that was new is the Rare Beauty Brow Shape and Fill Duo. This, I was very happy with the formula and the packaging, especially when I first saw it. I was like, oh my gosh, so cute. 2 shades of a brow powdery balm slash mousse. It's not quite powder and it's not quite balm. It's like this beautiful velvety finish, which is perfect because you're able to fill in the brows, define the brows, be precise, but also build up a little bit of volume without that tackiness or that wetness. I think the mirror is cute. I honestly did not use the mirror this week, but I did try to use the built-in brush and spoolie. You can achieve the brow you want with these on-the-go products, but for every day, if I have my brushes, this is what I'm going to use. The brush is just quicker and the spoolie is just better, and it's something I'm more familiar with. It isn't quite as tiny and specific. However, I do appreciate having this because if I wanted to travel or just throw this on the go for touch-ups, I can for sure do my brows with the angled brush and the spoolie. I wish the spoolie was a little bit bigger, like a little bit wider. I don't need it to be longer. I need it to be a little bit wider, a little bit more of a Christmas tree shape. It is still functional and I do use it when I don't have my brush or if I'm too lazy to reach for my brush. I love the design. I think the design is absolutely genius, finally giving us tools in our makeup that we'll actually use when we need to. Obviously, I don't think anything's gonna really replace my full-size brow brush. Really recommend this. Recommend this way more over the other Rare Beauty Harmonizing brow product, which is the pencil and gel in one. I did review that other brow product from Rare Beauty along with other Rare Beauty products over in, I think it was the second Makeup Bag Monday episode of the revamp. So just check out that playlist. It's in the title if you're curious about my other thoughts of Rare Beauty. This is a favorite that keeps getting rotated in and out of this series as well as my makeup bag because it is so good. It's the Kosas Air Brow and I have brown black. This is my favorite brow mascara kind of a thing. I think it's innovative. It's doing something new and it's a really good product. It comes in a variety of shades as well as clear and I cannot get enough of this. It's replaced my Boy Brow from Glossier, which is kind of crazy because I've been using that for years. The next exciting thing was kind of revisiting Stila. I feel like I talked about it last week where we kind of just all stopped talking about Stila. And I really love Stila Convertible Color. This is in Peony, and it is what I'm wearing on my cheeks. I also wore it on my eyes during the week, and I also wore it on my lips. This is such a good product. I am so happy they still make this product. It is so freaking good, and specifically finding a shade that looks good on my skin tone, which is peony. So beautiful. I love that you can use it with your fingers. You can apply it with a brush. It's very versatile. It is a little tacky, but it definitely settles into the skin. If you're super oily, I do recommend using a light powder to set it so it doesn't slip and slide too much, but it's just healthy, glowy, blushy skin. And it's tacky enough that you can use it on your eyes, but not so tacky that it's gonna slip and slide and feel gross on your eyelids. So I love this, and Peony is my shade. Another Stila product I tested out was the Kitten Heaven's Hue Highlighter. I genuinely think this is such a unique product. It's so putty-like, buttery and smooth. It's one of those OG products that we all went crazy for back in the day on YouTube, and it was sold out everywhere forever, and there's a reason why, and we need to revisit this. Stila needs a reintroduction into this world and a reminder of how good their products truly are. The texture, the formula, the color, it's so beautiful. It makes your skin just look nice and glowy and awesome. Texture of this. This was really the first kind of its type in terms of that putty-like texture. Highly recommend, highly enjoyed. This is a new to me from last week, Undone Beauty. Some of you guys actually commented on last week's video talking about how Undone Beauty makes you feel good and more confident when you wear their products, which I haven't heard in a long time about a brand. Way to go, Undone Beauty. Wish I heard more about it before, other than just kind of randomly finding them at Ulta. And I have the Warm Up Bronzer 550, and I agree. I love that it's effortless, it's minimal, it's clean, it's easy, but more than that, it gives me so many options in one product. I love using the lighter brown to warm up my face as a bronzer. I like using the deeper brown for an eyeshadow shade. I love using the highlights to just brighten up my eyes, use it as a highlight. Very versatile little compact. It's got two different highlights, a warmer shade and a more champagne-y shade. Pigmented, beautiful, buttery, applies beautifully. The bronzer shades, same thing, and I love it because you can also wear it on the eyes and give yourself a really quick eye look. This palette is unstoppable, it's affordable, and it does make me feel good because I love when I have this creative juice going by looking at a product where I'm like, oh, I can use this all over my face, and it's really pretty and I feel good about myself. So I love hearing that. If you guys have products or brands that make you feel confident, more beautiful from the inside out, outside in, share those with me in the comments. I would love to test out more products that bring you joy. The next product is the ColourPop Nude Mood. This is the first eyeshadow palette from ColourPop that I've tried. I was a huge fan of their Super Shock shadows when they first launched, but I don't know why I kind of missed the boat on these pressed shadows. They're so good. They're absolutely beautiful. They perform really well. They blend beautifully. They're super affordable. I think this palette is $14, and I love this palette. I know I'm a basic bee, but guess what? I will use every single shade in this palette. I love that it has bluff-in because I always need something like this to help with blending out shades for a base shade and for my brow bone. It's so important for me because if I want to grab a palette and do an eye look, I have to have something like this, a very bone shade. It has two fun shimmery glittery shades, one more like satin shade, and then a bunch of different mattes that are very, very wearable. Love this palette. Highly recommend this palette if you're looking for something of a warm neutrals palette that gives you a lot of versatility. You can wear these as single shadows, you can do creative looks, you can definitely vamp it up. Highly recommend. The lip product I tried out last week or revisited is this Pixie by Petra Sheer Rose, and I love it. I typically use the clear one, but Sheer Rose is a beautiful, beautiful everyday rosy color. I love their glosses. It's not sticky, it's not slippy, and it doesn't leave a weird line on my lips, especially if I'm eating, drinking, talking, filming, you know the gist. Wears really lovely, and I wear it with the Natural Rose lip contour liner by Pixi as well. Really enjoyed everything that was in my makeup bag for the week. I had some new hits, some new discoveries, some rediscoveries, and I got to use some products I just love. I didn't mention this in my makeup bag Monday because I've talked about this concealer a lot, but this was what I rotated in. Vera Cosmetics 4-in-1 concealer. It has an SPF of 30. It has active peptide ingredients to help with your under eyes. I love this concealer. I've talked about it a ton, so that's what I was using in case you're curious. And then for my contour, I would use the Jouer Bloom Bronze and Glow in Sunset. I think I talk about this every single week, but that's really what's just been in my makeup bag. That has been it. So let's talk about what I will be rotating in for the next week. Because I am very curious, NARS was hosting a bunch of influencer events, but they did send me their newest launch to go along with their matte foundation that they launched last year. I thought I would incorporate this into this coming week. It's the Soft Matte Primer Base, which is what they were celebrating. And I love this chic, sleek packaging for this primer, so I thought I'd rotate this in. Everybody's like launching primers. It's so strange because I'm not really a primer kind of gal, like I've mentioned before, but I feel like I'm testing new primers every week because there's just new primers coming out. And along with that, I do want to rotate in one of the foundations that matches me, hopefully, in with the primer so that I can test the primer out with other products, but as well as with the product that they designed this primer for. They launched this foundation last year, and I really enjoyed this foundation as a full coverage event or filming type of foundation. It has really good longevity. Soft Matte Complete Foundation, I have the shade Medium 1 Punjab, which I think will be the best shade match for me currently. I am very excited to revisit this as fall approaches because, especially in hot weather, I never really want to wear a full face of makeup. This is medium to full coverage in my opinion, as far as I remember, and I did like it because if you were wearing a mask, you weren't going to have your makeup be messed up from it. They also did send me some new Soft Matte Complete Concealers. I love these concealers for around the face. And then the lipstick that I'm gonna try out, because I still haven't had a chance to try it out, is from Madame Gabriella, and I picked out this beautiful shade. So bold. I don't know if I'm actually going to get a full week's use out of this, but it's Paris at 7 p.m. Such a beautiful red. It's available at the Detox Market. So I'm going to rotate in this Rare Beauty Boy blush. This one is the liquid blush, and it's very pigmented, and I'm almost like hesitant to use it because it's so pigmented, but I really should use it. So I'm going to use it. And then I'm going to rotate in a new eyeshadow palette. And by new, I mean new to me. I went to Ulta and I couldn't stop myself. I purchased an eyeshadow palette. It's the Anastasia Beverly Hills Soft Glam.